Everyone, there's something most older women completely miss when they're dating younger men. It's something subtle but incredibly powerful. It's not about how many nice texts he sends, how often he compliments you, or even how often he calls. It's about the kind of questions he asks. These questions might not seem like a big deal at first, but they carry emotional weight and show what's really going on inside him. I'm going to walk you through 5 questions a younger man asks when he's truly falling for an older woman. And trust me, most women don't notice these. Stay with me until the end, because the last question says everything about where his heart really is. Let's be honest. Dating as a woman in your 30s, 40s or older, especially with a younger man, can feel complicated. People have a lot of assumptions and stereotypes about it. Society often says younger men aren't ready for emotional depth or a real commitment, especially with a woman who's more experienced and emotionally mature. They act like younger men are just looking for fun or something short-term before they settle down with someone younger, but that idea is old and lazy. According to a 2022 study by the Pew Research Center, about 8% of straight couples in the US have a woman dating a younger man. That number might not seem huge, but it's nearly double what it was 10 years ago. That's not just random. It shows that more women are choosing partners based on real connection, not age. And more younger men are drawn to the confidence, emotional depth, and self-awareness that older women naturally have. But even with that shift, many older women still don't know how to tell when a younger man is really invested. You might be drawn in by the way he looks at you, the compliments, the flirty texts, but none of that truly tells you if he's serious. The real sign is in the kinds of questions he starts asking. Men don't always show their feelings through grand actions. Often their emotional side comes out through the things they ask. These questions come from a place of curiosity, trust, and the hope for something deeper. And if you don't notice these moments, you might miss what he's really feeling. You could end up giving your time, energy, and love to someone who isn't serious, or ignore a guy who's quietly trying to get close to you. Because in relationships, especially those with an age gap, what matters most isn't just what's said. It's about the emotional tone, the timing, and the intent behind it. So why do many older women miss these signs? It's because we've been taught to focus on surface level stuff. Did he show up on time? Did he remember your birthday? Did he post a picture of you two online? And yes, those things matter, but when it comes to emotional maturity, especially from a man still figuring himself out, the questions he asks are often more important than the words he says. In a 2020 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, researchers followed 127 couples where the woman was at least 7 years older than the man. Over 2 years, they looked at how these couples talked, how their emotional connection grew, and how happy they stayed. What they found was eye-opening. Younger men who first showed interest through touch or romantic gestures later showed their real feelings through deeper conversations. The couples who had these kinds of open emotional talks early in the relationship were 35% more satisfied after 18 months than those who only kept things light. That tells you something important. Questions matter, not just small talk, but the kind that shows he wants to know your world, that he's into more than your looks or your confidence. He's into your thoughts, your heart, your future. These questions usually pop up when you're just relaxing, maybe lying next to each other or sitting down at dinner or having a quiet moment. They seem small, but they're filled with meaning because they come from genuine interest. Here's one to pay attention to. What do you think you'll be doing in 5 or 10 years? At first it might sound like a simple question, but if a younger man asks this, it means he's thinking beyond just today. He wants to know your future plans. He's wondering if there's a place for him in that picture. This question shows he sees you as someone worth building a life with, not as someone to hang out with. Another one might be, have you ever wanted to move somewhere else or start something new? Again, it sounds light, but it says a lot. A guy who's just having fun won't care much about your dreams or changes you want to make. But a man who's falling for you will want to know what excites you. He wants to explore how open you are to change, growth, and new experiences, not just where you live, but how you live. You might also hear him ask, what was your childhood like? Now this one goes deep. When a man asks this, he's looking for a closer bond. He wants to understand the experiences that shaped you. The pain, the strength, the love. This kind of question isn't small talk. It's real, and it shows he wants to understand all of you. Not just the version he sees now, but the story that brought you here. Another big one. Do you think about having kids or starting a family? He's not asking to pressure you. He's asking to see if your long-term goals match up. A younger man who asks this kind of question is thinking about more than the moment. He's considering commitment and what a future with you might look like. That's not casual interest. That's someone who's thinking with his heart. And finally, the most powerful one. How do you want to feel in a relationship? He's not asking about what kind of man you want or what qualities you're looking for. He's asking about your emotions, how you want to feel every day. That kind of question shows he's serious. He wants to give you that feeling. He wants to understand what matters to you emotionally. Not just what you say, but what you truly need. And younger men don't ask this kind of thing unless they really care. They're still exploring their own feelings, so when they go out of their way to ask about yours, it means something. So if you notice a younger man asking these kinds of things, about your future, your past, your dreams, your feelings, don't ignore it. These questions are like signs pointing straight to his heart. You don't need to overanalyze every word or action. Just listen, really listen. If the curiosity sounds genuine, chances are his feelings are too. When a man is falling for an older woman, it usually doesn't come with big words or dramatic actions. It comes in quiet, thoughtful moments, honest questions, a desire to really know who you are. And when you start to hear those signs, you won't have to wonder how he feels anymore. This kind of emotional depth hits differently when it comes from a younger man. A guy who's not serious will usually keep conversations on the surface. Where to go for dinner, what movie to watch, or weekend plans. Those are safe topics. Easy, no real emotion needed. But if he starts asking about where you see yourself in 10 years, what kind of life you want, what you care about most, that's not small talk anymore. That's him checking if he belongs in your future. A 2019 study from the University of Kansas found that men who asked future-based questions early on were 43% more likely to want long-term relationships. That's a big difference. It shows that these questions aren't random. They mean he's thinking seriously. He's not just being polite. He's seeing if your lives could blend together. He's imagining a shared future. And by the way, if any of this is hitting home for you, if you've ever been confused like, why did he pull away just when things were getting good? You're not alone. That confusion is exactly why we made something special for women like you. It's called the 7-step male mind decoder. It breaks down what's really happening in his mind even when he won't say it. You'll learn how to read his behavior, recognize the signs of real commitment, and stop second-guessing yourself. You'll find the download link in the description, and yes, it's totally free. Now, let's move to the next question that holds deep emotional meaning. What was the most important lesson your last relationship taught you? At first, it might sound like small talk, but it's far more than that. When a man is truly falling for you, He doesn't just care about what you do for fun or what music you enjoy. He wants to understand your emotional power, not to judge you, not to use it against you, but to learn where your heart has been and what helped shape it. Men who are emotionally mature and open know that our past helped shape who we are today. They understand we don't just appear in this moment without carrying memories, pain, and growth from all we've lived through. If he's truly interested, he'll want to know the lessons that changed how you see love and trust. He's curious about what broke your heart, what helped it heal, and how you now define safety, connection, and closeness. According to clinical psychologist Dr. Ramani Devasula, one of the clearest signs of real romantic interest is a man's openness to talking about emotional history. If he asks you about past relationships and what you've learned, he's really asking two things: what emotional pain you might still carry, and whether he can meet the new standards you've created from those experiences. But even more than that, it shows he's not scared of your age, your depth, or your past. He honors those things. He sees them as a part of what makes you so interesting. Another question that might seem small but is actually very meaningful is, how do you like to spend time alone? On the surface, it may seem casual or even unimportant, but it shows much more than it appears. Men who aren't emotionally connected only care about the time you spend with them. They'll plan dates, ask about your weekend, and say things like, "What do you want to do tonight?" But a man who feels something deeper wants to know the version of you that exists when no one is watching. He wants to understand who you are when you're not trying to impress anyone. This question is really about discovering your natural rhythm, how you relax, and the parts of you that come out when you're truly alone. Psychology Today shared a study that found one of the strongest signs of long-term match is how well people respect each other's time alone. How you recharge, how you make sense of life, and how you protect your energy matters. If a man asks this, he's not just into the woman who shows up looking perfect for a dinner date. He's falling for the woman in her cozy clothes on a quiet Sunday, with her hair up and a book in hand. And that means something. Now here's another powerful one. What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? This isn't just a fun or random question, it says a lot. When a man asks this, he's not just focused on your past or your checklist of accomplishments. He's drawn to your dreams. What still excites you, what scares you, and what you've put aside for too long. It tells you he wants to know what still lives in your heart. This kind of man doesn't want to be just a moment in your story. He wants to help you create new chapters. He wants to support your hopes and watch you grow. When a man asks questions like this, it shows real emotional investment. It says, I don't only care about who you were, I want to be part of who you're becoming. That kind of attention isn't from someone just passing time, it's from someone who sees a future. These questions may seem simple at first, but they're not random. They show how a man thinks, what he values, and how serious he is about you. So the next time you hear him ask something that goes deeper than usual, don't ignore it. He may not be saying, I love you yet, but through those quiet, thoughtful questions, he's showing you where his heart is going. And the truth is, it's not always the big actions that show someone is falling in love. It's the quiet, honest moments when he leans in and truly wants to know you, not just what you say, but who you are. So listen closely. His words might be soft, but the meaning is powerful. They say more than you might think. If you listen carefully, you'll hear the truth behind his questions. And if you're ready to answer with honesty and strength, then you're ready for the kind of love that grows into something strong. A 2018 study by eHarmony showed that couples who regularly talked about their goals and supported each other had a 50% higher rate of happiness in their relationships. So if he asks you about your dreams and listens with true interest, it's a strong sign. It means he can picture himself beside you in the cooking class you always wanted to take, or on that trip you've dreamed about for years. When a man makes time to ask and really listens, it means he's not just focused on the woman in front of him now. He's curious about the woman you're still becoming. That curiosity is the heart of emotional closeness. It's his way of saying, I believe in your future and I want to be part of it. Not every man does this. Most won't unless they're serious about something long term. A man who's just passing through doesn't ask about your future. But the moment he starts imagining life with you, he begins to ask more thoughtful questions. When he starts thinking of you as part of his own path, it's no longer just about weekend plans. It's about building something real, growing together, learning to move through life side by side. That comes from emotional commitment, not just attraction. So if a man ever asks you about your dreams, don't brush it off. That might be his way of saying, I want to help make those dreams real. And that kind of love, the one that supports your growth and doesn't fear it, is rare. It sets him apart. It means he sees your success not as a threat, but as something he wants to cheer for. He wants to lift you up, not hold you back. Now let's go deeper. If a man ever looks at you and asks, how do you feel about love at this stage in your life? No, that's not a random question. That's vulnerability. It might come during a calm evening chat or a peaceful walk. He's opening the door to your heart and asking, what still lives there? Let's be real, it takes courage to ask that, because you might say, I don't believe in love anymore, or I've been too hurt to open up again. And he knows that's hard to hear, so if he asks, it's because he truly cares where your heart stands now. He's wondering if your idea of love still has room for someone like him, and deep down, he's hoping the answer is yes. Relationship expert Esther Perel often talks about how love shifts as we grow. In her books and talks, she explains how deep connection is built through honest conversations, especially after pain. A man who starts this kind of talk isn't just interested in you. He wants to understand your emotional map. That kind of curiosity is rare. When you see it, don't ignore it. It takes strength to meet someone where they are, especially when that includes heartbreak or doubt. But a man who asks you what love means now isn't trying to fix you. He's trying to make space for you. That's what early respectful love looks like. It's gentle, it's real, it's not loud, but it's strong. When a man asks you what love means to you now, after everything, it's clear he's not scared of your past. He honors it. He wants to know if you still believe in true closeness, real laughter, and honest connection. That's not someone chasing attention. That's someone looking for something lasting. Let's go over 5 strong questions a man will ask when he's truly interested in a deep connection. First, what do you picture doing in the next 5 or 10 years? That's not just about your job or retirement. It's about vision and whether your lives might fit together. Second, what was the biggest lesson your last relationship taught you? This shows he values your emotional experience. Third, how do you enjoy your alone time? That tells you he respects your need for space and wants to know the real you. Fourth, what's a dream you've always had but never followed through on? That tells you he cares about your future, not just your past. Fifth, how do you feel about love now? That's a deeply personal question full of honesty. If a man has asked even 2 or 3 of these, it's likely that his heart is already involved. Even if he hasn't said it yet, these aren't surface questions. They're signals of deeper interest. He's quietly checking if you're ready for the kind of connection he hopes for. You might not even realize it in the moment, but now you'll know what to listen for. Sometimes these questions are slipped into a dinner conversation or a late-night call. Other times they're more direct. Either way, he's not just trying to impress you, he's trying to bond with you. Real connection isn't about flashy moves. It's in these quiet moments, in questions. They show he's not just seeing your body, he's seeing your soul. He's listening to what shaped you, what inspires you, and what you're still trying to trust. That level of listening doesn't come from casual interest. It comes from something real. If a younger man has asked you something like this, don't ignore it. Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear. Sometimes the age difference surprises us. But emotional depth isn't about age. It's about presence and intention. A younger man can be more tuned in than an older one who's just coasting through life. Because emotional maturity is about how someone shows up, not how old they are. And you can feel that difference right away. If this video helped you, give it a like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss anything new. We're building a space for strong, thoughtful women who are done settling. You're not alone in this. Every time you reflect, learn, or simply listen, you're showing the world and yourself that you're ready. Ready for more, for depth, for love that feeds your soul. If you're tired of wondering what he's thinking, overanalyzing messages and trying to figure things out, maybe it's time to try something new. Something that brings peace instead of confusion. Grab your free copy of the 7-Step Male Mind Decoder. It's helped thousands of women move from guessing to knowing, from doubt to calm, and from heartbreak to connection. The link is in the description. It's free and full of powerful insight. You don't need to shrink to be loved. You need to be truly seen. Seen by someone who honors your light and wants to protect it. Thanks so much for watching, for listening, and for showing up for yourself. The right man doesn't just show up with charm. He shows up with the right questions. Questions that open hearts, create closeness, and make you feel understood. If he's asking those questions, pay attention. He's not just flirting. He's planting something that can grow. And real love grows from emotional presence, shared vision, and honest closeness. Don't accept anything less. You deserve to be loved deeply, to be seen fully, to be chosen not just for how you make him feel, but for who you are and who you're still becoming.